In a free plus shipping funnel, something that I've talked a lot about recently because I'm rolling mine out, you want to think in terms of getting people in the door with something that is irresistible. A free best-selling book, right? Even if they have to pay for shipping and handling, is still a pretty irresistible offer. It gets them initially in the door, and then I can take the content that is in this book and repurpose it a number of different ways to now get them to consume it in other ways. Great. All right, so I'm recording. This is our BSPU call for Tuesday. I don't know what date it is. Is it the 4th? September 4th, after Labor Day. Hope you guys had a nice Labor Day weekend, those of you that are in the United States. Going to talk today about how to create irresistible offers with your book's content and how to also repurpose your book's content so people can consume it in different ways. As always, I'm going to start my video, reintroduce it, and then go into what I'm going to share. I got a bunch of notes for you as well. Drop my pen. So let's rock and roll. Hey guys, Rob Kosberg here with Bestseller Publishing. Got a cool training, I think, for you today. I'm going to talk to you today about how to create irresistible offers with your book, and also how to repurpose your book's content so that it can be consumed by people in a myriad of different ways. First of all, if you're anything like me, and I'm going to guess that you are, at least in this way, you have purchased on Amazon, at least I have, dozens of both the digital version of a book as well as the soft cover, and in some cases, even the audio version of the book and the hardcover. I have almost an encyclopedia of, certain books' contents that I want to have in different ways for me to consume. And in the same way, with your book, you are doing yourself and those that want to learn from you a disservice if you don't have your content available for them to consume in a myriad of different ways. Now, I was sharing with my BSP clients just a few moments ago before I started recording this, that in some ways this is kind of cool for people timing-wise because I'm going through my book launch right now at the same time, and I am not just the CEO of Hair Club for Men. I am a client as well. Again, not literally, but figuratively, right? Remember that old commercial? We eat our own cooking at BSP, and I'm going to share with you exactly what I'm doing to repurpose this content and have it ready for a free plus shipping funnel. And I got tons of notes for you as well that I'm going to go over. So the first thing that I want everyone to understand is, as I shared in the very beginning, people that are interested in your topic are interested in consuming your content in different ways. Some of them may be willing to pay significantly more to consume your content in a video course. Others will certainly be willing to pay more to listen to your book's content on audio. And some will pay for a paperback a lot more than they would be willing to pay for a digital or Kindle version of your book. So you need to give people the ability to choose not just one, but multiple different options, and maybe even buy all of them in some type of bundled format. So besides that key element that you need to understand, because that's the way you consume content as well. You prefer to consume content certain ways over other ways. The other thing that is interesting is when you have just a book, for example, that you've put your heart and soul into, right? You have hundreds of pages of content, stuff that you've poured out, case studies and examples and diagrams and all that kind of stuff. You need to understand that that alone oftentimes isn't incentive enough for somebody to even pay 7, 8, 10, 12 bucks. You need to think in terms of making great offers to your clients, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Here's what I mean by that. When you take a book like this that's selling on Amazon right now for $24.95 in the softcover version, and I offer this book for free, all someone has to do is pay for shipping and handling, say $6.95 or $7.95. I've now taken this book's content and I've created something more irresistible, more desirable to a potential buyer than its standard price of $24.95. Now, someone may be willing to pay $24.95, but 3 or 4 other people may say to themselves, wow, he's offering this for free. All I have to do is cover shipping. I'm that interested in it. And now this is someone that I have in my email list as a buyer of my content. In a free plus shipping funnel, something that I've talked a lot about recently because I'm rolling mine out, you want to think in terms of getting people in the door with something that is irresistible. A free best-selling book, right? Even if they have to pay for shipping and handling, is still a pretty irresistible offer. It gets them initially in the door, and then I can take the content that is in this book and repurpose it a number of different ways to now get them to consume it in other ways. So what will I be doing? Well, first of all, I start with making a list of a bunch of different things that I can potentially do with my content. And then I am going to bundle and position those things in my free plus shipping funnel so that people that initially get in the door that have already raised their hand and said, I am interested in this topic and put a credit card in, I know a percentage of them are going to be interested in consuming even more content of mine. So the very first thing that I recommend when it comes to a free plus shipping funnel or when it comes to having additional ways for people to consume your content is the audio version of the book. Now, many times my clients ask, well, Rob, can you do the audio version for me? Can you put my book on Audible, etc.? And we don't offer that at BSP. Here's why we don't offer that. Because we don't recommend you actually put your book on Audible. Now, if you're not going to do anything else with your book, if you're not going to create a funnel, if you're not going to sell ancillary products and services, then sure, go ahead and put your book on Audible and sell it for $11.95, $12.95, whatever. But if you don't have it on Audible and you use a free plus shipping funnel in conjunction with offering your book for free, as long as they pay for shipping, then you can get as much as $27 or even $37 for the audio version of your book. Now, if you also have your book for sale at Audible on Amazon for $11.95 and people find out about that, they're going to feel cheated, right? Because, hey, you sold to me for $27. You made it seem like a great deal, but I could have gotten it on Audible for $11.95. So I tell my clients, look, don't even put it on Audible. Leave it off Audible and use it in conjunction with your free plus shipping funnel. That is always the first and best version of the upsell in a free plus shipping funnel. Now, even better than that, as a first upsell offer, is if you can bundle your audiobook with something else that would be desirable to this client that has started down my funnel. Now, we know that this topic is already desirable because they took out of their wallet a credit card and they put the numbers in for $7.95 or whatever the amount was. So we know that it was at least that desirable to them. So what would I do? Well, I have content surrounding the publishing of their book, the writing and publishing, the promotion of their book, and the profiting or PR and media for their book, including speaking engagements and lead gen. So I could create workbooks out of each one of the elements of the content of my book. So I could create a writing and publishing workbook. I could create a launch workbook. What would I do? Well, I would repurpose the content in here with questions that they would have to answer, with things that they would have to do, account setup, or thoughts that they have to take time to go through in the writing process. So I could create a writing workbook. I could create a launch workbook. I could create a media and PR workbook, a lead generation workbook. I could create a number of workbooks surrounding this that I could put a value at $24 or $30 or something like that. And if I bundled all of those with the audio version, I might be able to offer it for $47 or $57 or $67 because now it has a value of $100 or $200 with all of the workbooks bundled in. And someone will say, well, that's pretty irresistible. I would love to have the writing workbook. I'd love to have the launch workbook. I'd love to have the PR and media workbook. So all I've done is taken the content that's already in here and I've repurposed it in a workbook format so that they would be interested in it. Well, not only that, But what do I also do? Well, I create content on a regular basis. Maybe you don't, you should, but maybe you don't. Well, I have hours and hours and hours of material. In fact, these BSPU calls that I'm recording right now, I've been doing for 2.5 years. So I have literally dozens of these weekly calls in 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute segments, right? So what am I doing? Well, one of the other elements of my funnel that I'm going to do is I'm going to give people access to the lifetime files of all of my BSPU calls. And I've had one of our new employees literally going through every single of the 2.5 years of BSPU calls and documenting what those calls are about and documenting details. So I have like pages and pages and pages of documentation on the stuff that I've been teaching for the last 2.5 years. What am I doing? All I'm doing is taking older content, right? That's really still valuable content. I'm going to package it all up and I'm going to tell people, look, if you were a part of BSPU and paying $100 a month for it over the last 2.5 years, this is like $2,000 worth of content, $2,500 worth of content, but I could offer that, something like that for $97 or $197. And all it is all of the content that I've already put together, bundled up on a membership site that they get access to for $97. Doesn't cost me a dime, but it raises the value of that client that's now coming in because a percentage of those people will buy that. I could also, besides giving them the archives, I could make some kind of special lifetime, one-time only offer to come into BSPU for, instead of $97 a month forever, for a one-time fee of $300 or $400 or $500 or whatever. I only need 1, 2, or 3 people out of 100 to take that to bump the cart value of my free plus shipping funnel significantly. It doesn't stop there, right? I have a $1,000 course that I sell. I can create an ads for authors course where we teach people how to do Amazon ads or Facebook ads for their books. I can give them a ticket to an event, like a VIP ticket. Instead of $97, I can downsell it to less. I mean, there's so many things that I can do with both the content in the book and the content that I already have. You just have to be creative. You have to think, okay, this person's coming in for this content. What are they missing that they would love to have? What additional things can I add in and bundle those things up, right? Put a real value on it and then give people some kind of massive, irresistible discount. Your free book, right, that, you know, all they paid for was $6.95 for shipping, can now become something where they're getting a free book, but they're adding in the audio version, they're adding in the workbooks, they're adding in the archives of the BSPU weekly calls, they're adding in the ads for authors course, and all of a sudden, when they were looking to spend $6.95, they found all of these things that could be useful, and they might spend $100 or $200. And a percentage of people will always do that. So you have to think, what from the content on my book can I give to people in addition to the book? Put together in a way that repurposes the content in a different format, video version, audio version, right? Besides the written version, workbook version, so that they go, wow, that is something that could be very, very helpful to me. This is a great way for you to take something that, you know, people want, but it only has this much value, and create an irresistible offer by raising the value, raising the bar, bundling things, and get your ideal client to spend even more money with you. Not to mention that person can then do a telephone call with an author development coach or with yourself or with a sales person on your team, and even be, you know, a potential client to go to the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 all done for you inclusive package. I hope this is helpful. This is something you need to be doing with your book's content. If you're not, you are really missing out on the opportunity. Do me a favor, leave a comment below. Feel free to ask me a question. I'll engage and I'll be happy to answer it. Take care, guys. Talk to you next week.
Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. Every week, we're posting tons more content to help you to publish, promote, and profit. So go ahead and subscribe now to the channel and click the bell icon to be notified whenever new content is available. And if you're interested in my latest book, Publish, Promote, Profit, just go to publishpromoteprofit.com.